Substitute the given values for the variables and then solve the equation for the remaining variable. So we're given the formula A equals P plus PRT. Some of you might recognize this as a formula that has to do with how much money you earn when you have interest involved. And we're given values A equals 120, P equals 100, and R equals 0.05 or 5 hundredths. So let's see what happens when we substitute in our values and see what variable is left for us to solve for. So sometimes color coding can be really helpful on these kinds of problems. So we're going to do A in red, and then this P we're going to do in green, and the R we're going to have in blue. So every place that we see A, we want to put in 120. So the A is just here at the beginning, 120. Then we have an equal sign, so we want to be sure that we get that in there. Now we have a P, and we can see that my P value is 100. So we're going to substitute in the 100. And then that plus comes down from the original formula. And then we have another P. And so 100 is going to go in for that P as well. We have to put it in every place that we see that capital P. We want to be putting in this value of 100. Next, we see that we're going to be multiplying that by R. And because we're doing multiplication here, we want to be sure that we put this in here in parentheses. 0.05. And then we have T. And when I look, we can see that they didn't give me any kind of a value for T. So that must be the remaining variable that we're going to need to solve for. So now here's an equation that we need to solve for T. So let's think about how we're going to do that. Well, the left side is already in its simplest form, so we're going to have to tidy up the right side and then work to get T by itself. So let's see what's happening on the right side. Here we have some addition and we also have some multiplication. Remember, order of operations would tell us to do the multiplying first when we're doing our simplifying. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to simplify this right side of the equation. So we have 120 equals 100 plus, now 100 times 0.05 is just going to be 5t. Now that's starting to look a little bit more familiar to us as something that we can solve. The right side is now as simplified as it can be, so now we can kick into solving mode. We're going to subtract 100 from both sides of this equation. So subtract 100 from both sides. On the right side, the hundreds are going to cancel out. And on the left side, we're going to be left with 20 equals, and on the right side, we have 5t. And then our final step to get that t by itself, we need to divide both sides by 5. Since the 5 is holding on by multiplying, we divide. There, the 5's cancel out. And we're left with t equals 4. So if we take a look at where we've been, we've substituted in values for variables in the formula, and then we solved the equation for the remaining variable.